This is Edward Snowden, a systems administrator. He works for the CIA and the NSA, and he has access to some of the most secret intelligence programs in the history of the United States. Today, he's going rogue. Over the past few weeks, Snowden has been methodically collecting files, programs with names like Prism, X-Keyscore, and Tempora. Tools that allow the NSA to monitor nearly everything. Emails, phone calls, even your webcam, without a warrant. A couple of colleagues are nearby. Snowden is just about to copy the files when two of them unexpectedly walk in. He quickly pulls out the micro SD card, but it slips from his hand and hits the floor. One of the employees quietly places his foot over it. It's subtle, deliberate, almost as if he knows what Snowden is doing and chooses to protect him. He's a good friend, a loyal colleague. Snowden waits in silence. As soon as they leave the room, he picks up the card and inserts it into the side of his work terminal. One last time. One last transfer. Roughly 1.7 million files. The largest intelligence leak in US history. Snowden removes the card, places it carefully inside a Rubik's Cube, the same one he always fidgets with. Security knows him for it. It's his trademark, his decoy. He wipes the terminal clean, rises calmly, and walks toward the exit. A couple of colleagues ask if he's leaving early. Snowden replies that he isn't feeling well and might not even return to work tomorrow. One of his friends looks at him with an emotional gaze, almost as if he knows he'll never see Snowden again. They exchange their goodbyes. Snowden continues toward the exit through the tunnel. At the security checkpoint, a guard nods at him. "Cube again?" Snowden smiles. "Still can't solve it." The guard chuckles. A routine pat-down. Snowden's heart is pounding. But outside, he's unreadable. The Rubik's Cube is waved through. He's cleared. Edward Snowden walks out the door, not just from the building, but from his entire life. He is about to become the most wanted man in America. In 2006, he applied to join the CIA. He didn't have a college degree, but he had something better, a near-genius IQ, an obsessive drive, and a talent for breaking systems. When Snowden was interviewing to join the CIA, the recruiting officer asked him several questions, like, "Do you believe the United States is the greatest country in the world? Why do you want to join the CIA? Would you die for your country? What has been the most important day in your life?" To which Snowden answers, 9/11. They asked Snowden about his wish to be Special Forces, which he once joined but then got himself out because of a leg injury. The recruiting officer asked, why did he want to join Special Forces? To which Snowden replied, "Sir, I love their motto, De oppresso liber, which means free the people from oppression." The officer once again asked, "Let's be honest, why do you want to join the CIA?" Snowden then smirks and replies, "To be honest, sir, it feels awesome to have top security clearance." At the Hill, the CIA's tech testing ground in Virginia, Snowden was handed a 5-hour simulation to assess his cyber warfare aptitude. He completed it in 38 minutes. The instructors didn't say much, but they noticed. Within months, Snowden was officially cleared for CIA field deployment, assigned a diplomatic cover, and shipped to Geneva. He was only 23 years old. After returning from Geneva in early 2009, Edward Snowden is disillusioned. He had watched the CIA manipulate a foreign banker into becoming an asset. The experience shattered his belief in the moral high ground of US intelligence work. He leaves the CIA and transitions into work with private contractors serving the NSA, first with Dell, then later Booz Allen Hamilton. At Dell, Snowden is assigned to an NSA facility in Japan. There, his access expands further. He maintains and configures systems used for mass surveillance. He begins to understand the scale of global data collection. He reads internal NSA training slides that openly discuss surveillance of millions of people. Foreign governments, corporate servers, even domestic targets. He realizes this is not targeted intelligence gathering. It is systemic surveillance. By 2010, he becomes increasingly paranoid. He moves from using Google to encrypted tools. He avoids speaking on unsecured phones. In 2011, Snowden is promoted again. He returns to the US and works in Maryland at an NSA facility for a short time. In 2012, he's transferred to the NSA facility in Hawaii under Booz Allen Hamilton. It's here that he makes his final decision. He will leak everything. On October 26, 2001, just 45 days after the attacks on 9/11, President George W. Bush signed a new law. It was called the USA Patriot Act. Quote, uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism, end quote. It passed with almost no resistance. Only one senator voted against it. The Patriot Act expanded the powers of U.S. intelligence agencies dramatically. It allowed for warrantless surveillance, bulk data collection, and secret court orders to access personal information. It gave the NSA the legal cover to do what it was already building, a system that could record every digital interaction on Earth. Quote, if you have nothing to hide, they said, you have nothing to fear. But Edward Snowden didn't agree. Edward Snowden doesn't just leak secrets. He prepares for war. He sends encrypted messages through burner email accounts, using Tails OS, a secure system that leaves no trace. He routes them through foreign relays to avoid US detection. To Laura Poitras, he writes, I am a senior government employee in the intelligence community. I have access to documents that will show the public what is being done in their name and without their knowledge. To Glenn Greenwald, he adds, I'm not trying to harm the US. I'm trying to inform the public. What I'm about to give you will be the most significant leak in modern history. Back home, Snowden tells his girlfriend, Lindsay Mills, that he needs time off. He says it's medical leave, a complication from epilepsy. It's not a lie, but it's not the full truth either. He files official documents with Booz Allen Hamilton, medical leave approved. On May 20th, 2013, Edward Snowden boards a plane to Hong Kong. He carries 4 laptops, dozens of encrypted drives, and classified NSA documents. Files with names like Stellar Wind, X-Key Score, and Boundless Informant. The laptops are sealed. The drives are hidden. The press doesn't know his name, but they will soon. Inside CIA headquarters at Langley, a quiet panic begins to spread. A Guardian article drops. Title, NSA collecting phone records of millions of Verizon customers daily. It's not a rumor. It's not a leak. It's real. The documents are authentic. Internal memos start flooding government networks. Emergency meetings are called. A search begins inside the NSA's contractor files. And soon, one name rises to the top. Edward Joseph Snowden. Cleared for top secret SCI, last login, Hawaii site. Status, medical leave. He's gone. And the world now knows what he took with him. Mark Klein is a technician at AT&T. He doesn't wear a suit. He's not cleared for classified intel. He just manages fiber optic systems in San Francisco. A regular guy, working a regular job. Then one day in 2002, something changes. Klein watches as a man in a dark suit walks past the reception desk. No badge, no greeting. The man goes straight through a restricted door on the 6th floor, the door to Klein's supervisor's office. Nobody ever enters that door unannounced. Nobody, except this man. Weeks go by. The building is normal, but something is different. Klein starts noticing construction, quiet, hidden modifications. One particular room stands out, room 641A. The door is solid orange, and unlike any other in the building, it has no handle on the outside. He asks around. No one knows what the room is for. No one seems to be allowed in, except the man in the suit. Klein grows curious. He starts tracing the cables coming out of that floor. The fiber optic bundles leave room 641A, run up to the 7th floor, and connect directly into a room that stores AT&T's internet backbone, a data switching center that handles all traffic in and out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And in the middle of that system, Klein discovers a device he wasn't supposed to know about. A splitter. It's not subtle. It's a physical device installed on the fiber line. Its job is to duplicate every piece of data passing through, every call, every email, every private conversation. One copy goes where it's supposed to AT&T server. The other copy goes into room 641A. Klein finds documents that confirm what he fears. The hardware installed in this secret room is not AT&T's. It's from the NSA. Room 641A is a listening post, a domestic surveillance hub. It doesn't just record metadata. It copies the content, emails, web activity, phone calls, everything. Mark Klein says, this was not directed at terrorists. It was directed at all of us. The case is stonewalled. The U.S. government invokes state secrets privilege. The telecom companies are granted retroactive immunity under the FISA Amendments Act of 2008. Mark Klein's warning fades into legal noise, but his documents remain. And 7 years later, when Edward Snowden leaks the PRISM and Upstream programs, the picture becomes clear. It's early June 2013, Mira Hotel, Kowloon District, Hong Kong, room 1014. Glenn Greenwald arrives first, then Laura Poitras. They've both been contacted by an anonymous source, someone claiming to have access to highly classified U.S. surveillance programs. He told them to look for a man holding a Rubik's Cube. They find him in the hotel lobby, calm, thin, and seemingly intelligent. He introduces himself.
My name is Edward Snowden.
In the hotel room, Snowden connects his laptop. He begins showing them the files, slides, diagrams, internal memos. They're real. One program stands out, PRISM, direct access to servers of Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple. Then, XKeyscore allows analysts to read any email, anywhere, in real time. Optic nerve, that could trigger mic and webcam. And Boundless Informant, a global heat map showing how many communications the NSA collects from every country. They're not just spying on foreign threats, they're spying on everyone. It's not just the NSA. Snowden reveals that GCHQ, Britain's top intelligence agency, is also collecting massive amounts of internet data under a program called Tempora. GCHQ taps fiber optic cables that carry global internet traffic, even American data. Snowden becomes a global flashpoint. Snowden knows Hong Kong is not safe. U.S. authorities are preparing an extradition request. He plans to fly to Ecuador via Moscow and Havana. The Ecuadorian government is sympathetic, the same one that had offered refuge to Julian Assange. With help from WikiLeaks, Snowden boards Aeroflot Flight SU-213 to Moscow. But something goes wrong. The U.S. sends out a warrant for Snowden's arrest. But the paperwork contains a mistake. Instead of Edward Joseph Snowden, the document names him as Edward James Snowden. Hong Kong delays the extradition. By the time the correction is made, Snowden is already gone. Moscow, Russia, June 23, 2013. Snowden lands at Sheremetyevo International Airport. But the U.S. has revoked his passport. He cannot continue his journey to Ecuador. For 39 days, he lives in the transit zone of the airport, legally not in Russia, but unable to leave. WikiLeaks' Sarah Harrison stays with him, brings him food, negotiates asylum. The world waits. Some call him a hero, others a traitor. This was the insane story of Edward Joseph Snowden.